Welcome ladies and gentlemen, my name is Dychronic here on this Destiny 2 video, and today we're going to be going over all of the new Season of the Lost weapons and exotic armors that you guys should grind for. And this is obviously based on me looking at all the different stats and the different possible roles on light.gg, because obviously I have not gotten all of them because not all of them are out. And to be very clear, this is an objective list. These are the things that I like the best for the stuff I like to play, with some recommendations for the stuff that I don't play as well. Right, so moving on, let's go ahead and get started. First up, we have a weapon that's actually not from this season. It's the Vex MYTHOCLAST, which is the Vault of Glass raid exotic that released last season that really sucked last season. And this season, they gave it a number of different buffs. You can see on screen right now, more damage, a lot more range, stability, better things with the catalyst, better fire rate, the linear's better, and you no longer lose those overcharged stacks when you put the weapon away, except for when you activate it, which is way better in so many different ways. They originally released it with this premise that you get special ammo damage with the linear thing, which, you know, we have Hawkmoon, Outbreak, Teraba that do it way better, and it also has that 100 aim assistance, which doesn't really matter that much when you have half the range, because range and aim assistance are very akin to each other. And it's honestly just a weapon that I would recommend now. It's not going to be a top tier Grandmaster weapon, but it is a lot better and a lot more fun, definitely viable in mid to high level play. Following that, we have the exotic weapon from the Season Pass, the LORENTZ driver. Now, this is a very interesting special ammo energy linear fusion rifle, kind of like the Arbalist, but for the energy slot, and a couple of different interesting perks. First of all, if a random enemy gets highlighted, you kill that enemy, it drops a telemetry. You pick that up for ability energy, and when you get 3 of those in the same life, you get like 3 times the damage for 30 seconds, which is really high. And on top of that, any precision final blow creates an implosion on your target, allowing you to damage more enemies nearby. Now, here's the big issue that I have with it. First of all, a linear fusion rifle does like 4 times the damage for a headshot, so body shots are very punished, making it a lot harder to use, and you need to use it at much longer range. But with that, you have to get close to the enemy to pick up those telemetries. And those telemetries and those enemies that are marked don't happen that often. Probably only going to get maybe 1 or 2 of those 3 times damage boosts a mission, and you can never time it well. So it's a weapon that has a lot of potential, a weapon that apparently a lot of people really like, and I probably need more time with it, but I don't really like it that much. Up next, we have the Hunter exotic, the Radiant Dance Machine, allowing you to activate your dodge multiple times when near a single enemy or multiple enemies, allowing you to have a lot of dynamo and distribution returns for super in 12 seconds, and then also the little stasis thing that makes a big old stasis freeze around you, which is actually very useful in Nightfalls and anywhere with champions, because you just dodge infinitely, freezing infinitely a guy for a little while. Now, obviously, I do think that this thing is going to get nerfed, because it's kind of ridiculous how you can just infinitely freeze somebody and get tons of super, so they're probably going to nerf it, but I hope that it stays very similar to the way it is, because having the ability to infinite dodge while near something may have some interesting approaches. Following that, we have the new Warlock exotic, the Nothing Manacles, another Destiny 1 exotic that's been revamped for Destiny 2. It gives you an additional scatter grenade and enables tracking for the scatter grenade projectiles. Now, many people don't know scatter grenade. It's the one that you throw out and it does a little blip 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 thing. This actually makes it so it blips closer to the target and can one-shot an enemy. It just makes the scatter grenades a little better. Now, here's the important thing when it comes to this. It gives you an extra scatter grenade projectile, but just like with the Starfire protocol, you don't have to actually use it for the grenade. You can use it for the handheld supernova to have double handheld supernova. Now, I probably would imagine that Controverse would still be better with the handheld supernova because you get grenade energy back, but overflow charging with some stuff going on with it may end up being worth it. Especially with Void 3.0 coming with Witch Queen, this may be an exotic that could be used within the special subclasses they have coming next season. Moving on, let's go ahead and get into the legendary weapons. First up, we have a tie here, the SCATHELOCKE, and of course the Last Breath, both being kinetic 600 auto rifles, and oh boy, I have been waiting for 600 kinetic auto rifles for such a long time. I love using Summoner and Gnawing Hunger. Both of these are energy weapons, and the last 600 auto we had for kinetic was the Iron Banner one, and that one really sucked. So finally we get ourselves some pretty good, it seems, good stats, good perks, good drop rates for these 600 kinetic auto rifles. Up next, we have the Servant Leader legendary kinetic scout rifle that is a rapid fire frame. And from my experience from memory, I don't think we have a rapid fire kinetic. Definitely have an energy one in the form of the DSC one, which a lot of people liked, and this is going to be your kinetic alternative, especially with scout rifles getting around a 15% damage buff against miners. Makes scout rifles a little bit more appealing, and this is the rapid fire frame, although I don't really like rapid fires because I prefer just having, for example, 600 auto rifles, which are just better at doing that. But if you like it, this is going to be your, Randy's throwing knife. Next up, we have the Fractethysst? Nah. Okay, Bungie, let's relax. We're gonna call you the Fracty from now on. I think the entire population's not gonna pronounce this. Anyways, we have the Fracty, which is very special because it's a stasis in the kinetic slot, precision buckshot frame, not a slug frame, and we don't have a lot of these. We know you have the retold tail, we used to have the Dustrock Blue, we just haven't seen a lot of them. The aggressives really took over and has a lot of potential in PvP, with slide shot, with quick draw, with opening shot, and perhaps a few other things as well. Also has potential in PvE with lead from gold, full auto trigger system, dual loading, adrenaline junkie, trench barrel, probably trench barrel being the best there, and of course it has auto assault mag, which is really nice as well. Following that, we have the Shepherd's Watch, which is a legendary kinetic sniper rifle of the 90 RPM adaptive frame, which is most likely going to be the nicest middle zone for most people. And effectively, from what this seems like, is it's going to be a beloved for the kinetic slot, which is going to be an Eye of Soul replacement. If you don't want to play Trials to get Eye of Soul, Shepherd's Watch can fill that slot for you. And it has some pretty great perks like opening shot, it has snapshot sights, it has moving target, no distractions, and for the PvE side of things, it has things like lead from gold, firing line, and even frenzy if you want to go that route, and also demolitionist. Although as a personal note, I prefer 72 RPM snipers for PvE. This is fine as it is. Up next, we have the WOLFTONE Draw, which is a legendary arc combat bow of the precision frame, meaning very high accuracy, very slow draw time. And I may say first and foremost, if you use bows enough, you know the accuracy is very important. If your shot actually goes to your reticle, it's very nice, even though the lightweight frames are a lot faster. And beyond that, right now, we do have overload rounds on bows. The alternative is swords. So using overload with bows is going to be your best bet in the highest level, so you do need to get yourself some good bows for whenever you need it. And with this bow, we have a lot of really great and new perks. Things like Harmony, we have Cornered from a few seasons ago, we have Demo, Adagio, we have Frenzy, we have the Archer's Tempo, we have Shoot to Loot if you want that, Ensemble, which actually increases the fire rate because apparently increasing the reload speed with bows increases the fire rate. A lot of great perks on a bow that you may need for the higher level play. Up next, we have the IOTA Draconis, which is actually a really dope sounding name. It's a high impact frame solar fusion rifle. Now, I would say across the board, generally, the faster fire rates are doing better right now. The rapid fires had the biggest buff this season, and they were already the best DPS last season, and they have that 9-shot, making them a lot more effective at close range, etc., etc. But this one has a lot of incredible perks and still can dish out some pretty high damage. Things like Cornered, Frenzy, Harmony, Kickstart, Adagio, high impact frame, literally cannot go wrong in that fourth column. In third column, we have Lead from Gold, we have Surplus, Under Pressure, Ensemble, a lot of really great perks for a PvE fusion rifle that can do some pretty good damage. If you don't know, fusion rifles did get a big buff this season on top of all of their artifact mods. They're doing a lot better, and this one is a pretty decent option. Following that, we have the Comedian, which if you're a comedian, please get up on stage right now. But the Comedian is a Destiny 1 weapon coming back as a Nightfall unique, and also has an Adept version to make it really, really gold, which I like it gold. It's also an aggressive void damage shotgun with a number of really nice perks for PvE, things like Lead from Gold, it has Trench Barrel, it has Vorpal on it has Adrenaline Junkie, as well as a few other things that you may like. And obviously it doesn't have auto-loading, but with the introduction of the holster mods, allowing you to holster weapons and put a mod on your armor to fill those weapons over time, you may be able to get away with it, and Lead from Gold is a great thing for long-term ammo. And I do think that the aggressive frames are generally going to be your best total ammo shotgun, so it's okay in Master Nightfalls. Following that, we have the Long Walk, a legendary energy solar sniper rifle of the aggressive frame 72 RPM variety, and it has a lot of good perks for PvE and for PvP as well. For PvE, it has things like Clown Cartridge, Overflow, Ensemble, Firing Line, Frenzy, Adrenaline Junkie, lots of good damage perks, and I do prefer the 72s for PvE. And for the other side, for PvP, it has Slide Shot, it has Killing Wind, it has Quick Draw, Snapshot, Moving Target, lots of good stuff, and probably do really well in both modes. Although I think for PvP, you're probably better off with Frozen Orbit if you have the best roll, but it's obviously a very diluted pool. And finally, the last weapon in the lineup is going to be the Ascendancy, a legendary heavy rocket launcher that does solar damage and is a precision frame, which means it has a built-in tracking. And there's something very special about this that has me really, really excited. First of all, it is a curated Masterworks roll you can get from Zavala, Shaxx, or Drifter from their level up packages. You can do any one of them, you can do all of them. And I do think this is more of a PvE roll because it has quick launch and impact caching, very nice for PvE. Beyond that, it has has Ambitious Assassin, and it has Explosive Light. And Explosive Light is very special. It used to only be part of the ritual weapon Wendigo. It increases your damage for each orb of light you pick up with this weapon, which, if you didn't know, the rocket launchers have a lot less projectiles than grenade launchers, so you're gonna get a lot more bang for your buck per orb with this particular roll on it. And right now, rockets are already doing very, very high DPS. This is just going to take it down to the next level. And that is going to be pretty much the end of the video. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought of my list, and please, please do let me know if you think there's certain weapons that I may have overlooked, because I, just like you, play a lot of Destiny, and I want to go out there and get the best of the best. But also keep in mind that I had to limit this list as much as possible. I tried to get it close to a top 10 as much as possible, so obviously there are going to be some stragglers, which are still worth it. And of course, a big thank you to my patrons on Patreon for making videos like this possible. Truly, my spreadsheets they'll be coming over the next few weeks will not be possible without your support on Patreon. Specifically, I want to give a big thank you to Mary Bidoo, Mom, Dad, Luco, Dr. Strange, Joe Smith, Bundy, Steve Bachman, Raymond, Choner, Panther, Casey Reagan for the support on Patreon. I'm getting real fast at this. We got to get more names on the list because it's just too easy. Anyways, that's going to be the end of it. I hope you guys did enjoy. My name is Dychronic, and I will see you guys on the next one.